Hi everyone. Today's class is a yoga flow class with the theme of awareness of the body, paying attention especially to those tight, sticky hot spots to free up the spaces. So moving with intention to really respect your own yoga practice. Maybe you need a soft practice today or a gentle practice, and maybe you're looking for a really strong, aggressive practice. Explore, discover. There's no right or wrong. Move your ribcage side to side. Make sure you've got enough space to move today and a mat or carpeted floor underneath you. Let's give our body a little bit of self-care, some love and respect, and pay attention to how we feel. Let those ribs move now in a circle. Find your breath and find your focus. If it feels good to close your eyes, close your eyes. Reverse the circle. If you like better to find just a focal spot, really pay attention from the inside out, how your body feels from the inside out, not the shape it's making. Hold still and roll the wrist. Reverse the wrist. And then just shift and rock from side to side. Roll the shoulders. And reverse the shoulders from the back to the front roll. Let the head drop over to the right shoulder and then drop into a forward circle to the left shoulder. And continue to drop forward rather than back behind. And find your own flow today, your own breath, and your own needs as you discover those spots that maybe need a little more attention. Come back to that center. Just take a little side to side bend. And again, you're still in your warm up, so ease into it. And come back to that center position, transition into a small down dog. When I say small, don't extend to the edges yet. Just find the space. Shake the head. Pull your elbows towards your ears. Bend your knees a whole bunch. Take your head up and down. Lift the tailbone higher. Tread one foot down and then the other. As you tread your feet, shift a little more into your hip. Maybe rock a little more side into the torso. Come back to center, lift your heels a whole bunch and bend your knees a whole bunch. Feel the stretch in your feet as you rock up and down. Feels like you're doing a big, deep squat into the legs. And then just find that down dog and see if you can take a downward dog a little different than when you first started it. Gently bring your knees to the floor. Reposition your hands under shoulders, lengthen the back of the neck. Shift the hip from one side to the other. Let your head turn towards the hips as they shift. Come back to neutral, round into some cat-cow. Pay attention to the stretch in the shoulders as you go into the cat stretch. And the stretch into the abdominals as you go into the cow stretch. And if you're looking for more aggressive practice, you'll notice you'll move a little faster today. And if you need a gentle practice, you'll move a little slower. You'll find what you need. Come back into neutral, open up the hip as you lift your knee. And then make a circle. Reverse circle. And let the knee float down as you transition to the other side. Draw a circle with the hip. Reverse the hip, circle. And bring the knee back down, shifting into a child's pose, reaching forward. Spread the fingers, reach and stretch the hands. Feel the breathing, expand the rib cage as you feel the breath in your back. Reach your hands down by your feet and let your forehead come to the floor. Turn your head sideways, whichever feels best. And now spread the fingers open and then make fist. And stretch the fingers and make a fist. Bring the hands under the forehead and open the knees a little bit wider, sitting back through the hips. Feel the elbows open up the heart. As you bring your knees now a little closer together, reach both hands to one side of the mat, pull back through the hip, drop the head, reach the arms, and then lift your hands up, fingertips down, stretch the wrists, drop the head. Find those tight spots in the hip and the back, and then walk your hands to the other side. Come up onto the fingertips, stretch the wrist, drop the head, pull back through the hip. And bring it back to neutral. Come into a kneeling position and tuck the back toes. Stretch the arches of your feet. Roll the heels inward and outward. Place the fist behind your low back, open the heart, lift the chest. Place your hands behind the back of your head. Take a little twist. If you're ready for a little more, reach back and touch the heel. As you bring it back to the center, sit back with your hips towards your heels and really get a good stretch out of the feet. Lifting back up, coming to hands and knees. Walk the feet underneath you into a forward fold with a lot of bend in your knees. Shake the head side to side, up and down. Rock onto the outside of your feet, stretch the ankles. Rock onto the inside of the arches. And then right in the middle. Shift from one hip to the other by bending one knee. And it doesn't matter if you're touching the floor or fingertips to floor or even just hanging. Come back to the middle and really bend the knees. Focus on the abdominals. And take your hands to your elbows. Release the head. Place the right hand to the floor or the mat. Bend your right knee a whole bunch. Lift your left hand into rotation and lengthen your left leg up into the hip. Exhale, release to the other side. So left hand down, left knee bent. Right hand up, right leg a little straighter. Exhale, release, forward fold. Use your core muscles to roll yourself up. Bring your hands into your heart center. And stand with your feet just under your hips. Reach the arms over your head in a slight back arch. And in a flowing chair, arms around the side, sit back into the hips, reach the arms forward by your head, and then down around the side to bring you back up. Find your flow, find your breath. When you're ready now to go a little deeper in your legs, go deeper. If that's enough, that's enough. Explore the motion, the breath, the moves, and come back up to the top and hold. Open the elbows with energy in your hands. Lift up and drop, swing forward, bending your knees. And as you come up, open the elbows. Lift up, drop, swing forward. Open the elbows. Come up, open those elbows and hold. Feel the energy and rotate from side to side as you engage now your pelvis. Neutral position, drop the elbows from side to side and side bends and side tilts. And release the arms, step into a wide position, toes apart, drop and swing the arms. Let the legs feel heavy as you drop into those plie squats. And open up the hip sockets. Hold up, shift from one side to the other in a bending of the knee. Adding a little more of a side bend. Again, gentle practice for you or strong practice, you'll know. Give it what it needs, and it may change throughout the hour. Come back to the middle and bring your elbows into your ribs, bend your knees and expand the energy up. In and expand up. And one more time. As you come up, bring your arms down around to the side. Let your right ear come to your shoulder, drop forward, around to the other side, bring it up, reverse the circle. Add a little more torso bend. So we're moving into these circles and then reversing. It's getting a little bigger in the movement. On the next one, add a little more legs, arms. Ooh, find those tight spots. I always love that contraction forward. As you go one more circle on each direction, really go for the range of motion now that you're ready to go for it. Good. Bring the hands now down to the inside of your thighs. Deep plie and lift. Deep plie, lift. On the next plie, stay low. Push your hands to the inside of your thighs, one shoulder forward, stretching the adductors, and then switch to the other side. Go one more on each side. And the next stretch is some of my favorite movement. You'll need the wide position. You'll need some room to walk your hands forward. So I'm going to turn sideways now. Lift up, and then bend your knees, bringing your hands forward, and lengthening and stretching as you lift the hips, bend your knees. And on the next lift, walk your hands forward. You'll be in a plank, but with the legs wider, it's a little easier. And then push your pelvis forward. Walk your hands back in, bend your knees, roll up. Come back down. Lengthen the hips, walk your hands forward. Push the pelvis forward. To me, that feels so good. And bring it back in. And you've been moving enough that you're most likely ready for that. Take that one more time as you drop down. Lengthen the hips up. Walk the hands forward. Push the pelvis through. And walk the hands back in. Bend your knees. Roll up. And bring your feet back in together for your mountain pose. Open your hands, stretch your fingers, make fists, close them. Open them, close them. Start to move the hips into a circle, bending your knees, and reverse. Add some wrist rolls, making sure you're ready for everything we're going to do today. Good. Bring the hands behind the back, open the chest, make fists and support the low back, lift the heart. Chest comes down, hands to thighs. A few more cat-cow stretches, inhaling and exhaling with your movement. And on your next cat stretch, roll all the way up, and as you come to the top, roll your shoulders back and then your elbows. And big arm circles, lead with the chest down to your thighs. Round under into the cat stretch, roll up. Shoulders. elbows, arm circles, chest forward, round under, come all the way up. One more time, shoulders, elbows, arms, chest, curve under, roll all the way up, bring your hands to heart. Take your feet just a little wider with a natural rotation through your toes. Bending into the knees, coming into a low prayer squat. Low is definitely depends on you. Come as low as you feel like you can safely for your own body. Once you're in your prayer squat, instead of just hanging out your hips, lift your pelvic floor a little. You'll feel a lot more work and release down. So we're getting a little more aggressive in class here. Pull up and down a little. Through the pelvic floor. And if you're ready for a little more, come all the way up, push the hands up, and come all the way down. And you find your own movement, your own flow, when to stop and hold, when to move, when to engage. And as you come up, start to open the arms. On the next one, as you come up, stay up. Bring your hands to heart. Walk your feet in. But again, not too close together. Toes face forward, hands to heart, a wide chair position, bringing your elbows to your legs, but I'm not rotated out like the prayer squat. For the low back, curve the pelvis under into a C curve, and then press back. So some more cat-cow. I don't think we can get enough cat-cow. The low back carries so much tension, and in different positions, it can feel so different. And as you take this one more time, roll all the way up to standing. Okay, should be ready for some sun salutations. Come to the front edge of your mat as we move a little more aggressively now. Deep breath in, hands to heart. Inhale and swan dive forward, exhale. Come up halfway to monkey. Exhale, release. Step back with your right foot into a lunge. Left foot to the downward dog. Play with it for a second. Transition to a plank, option to be on knees or feet. Lower the chest to chaturanga, hug the elbows to the ribs. Lift up to either cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward to a lunge. Left foot steps forward to forward fold. Use your core as you reverse swan all the way up around the sides, hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Come up halfway to monkey. Exhale, release. Left foot steps back to lunge. Right foot steps back to downward facing dog. Transition to your plank. Lower the chest, elbows hug the ribs. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, release, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, hips lift. Left foot steps forward to lunge. Right foot steps forward to fold. Reverse swan all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart. Let's add on. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Come up halfway to monkey. Exhale, release. Right foot steps back to lunge. Left foot steps back to downward facing dog. Transition to plank. Lower the chest. Upward facing dog. Exhale, release. Transition the elbows a little more in front of you to the Sphinx. Lengthen the back of the neck. Spread the fingers. Lift the elbows slightly up and down. Use your triceps. Lengthen your neck. Go from one elbow to the other. Come back to center, drop and lift one more time. Lower the chest, reposition the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward to lunge. Left foot to forward fold. Engage core, reverse swan. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back to lunge. Right foot to downward dog. Transition to your plank. Drop the chest. Upward facing dog. Exhale, release. Transition to the Sphinx. Lengthen the back of the neck, pull the shoulders down. Hands spread, lift elbows up and down. They do not go to a straight arm. The elbows are always bent. Rock from one elbow to the other. Come back to center and drop and lift one more time. Release the chest all the way down. Transition hands, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward to the lunge. Right foot forward to forward fold. Reverse swan, use your core to come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's add on even more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come up halfway to monkey. Exhale, release. Right foot steps back to lunge. Left foot to downward facing dog. Right foot kicks high to the sky in a three-legged dog. Feel the stretch. Shift the weight so that the right knee comes into the chest. Lift the head a little. Transition back and forth on your own timing. You'll know what you need. You'll know when to move. Let the breathing motivate your motion. And on your next lift, keep the foot high. As you get ready to transition to plank, you have the option of putting that foot down or keeping it elevated, transition to plank. Same option as you lower the chest. Upward facing dog, release both legs. Exhale, release the chest. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward to lunge. Left foot to forward fold. Use your core as you come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift. Transition into the forward fold. Come up halfway to monkey. We're in definitely the flow section of class. Release. Left foot steps back. Right foot steps back to downward facing dog. Left foot kicks high to three-legged dog. Feel the stretch. Transition the knee to the chest. Move back and forth from the high kick to the knee to chest and listen to your needs. Pay attention and move with intention. On the next kick high, hold. As you lower to plank, option of foot up or down. Lower the chest, same options. Upward facing dog, release both legs. Exhale, release down. Tuck toes, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Right foot steps forward, fold. Come all the way up. Hands come to heart. Let's get into some warriors. Lift up. Forward fold. Lift up halfway to monkey. Exhale, release. Right foot steps back to lunge. Left foot steps back to downward facing dog. Right foot kicks high to three-legged dog. This time the right leg steps all the way forward through the hands. Turn the back heel. Engage legs and core to warrior one. Line up the heels, shift into the pose, and open to warrior two. And if you're looking for a strong pose, push that shin bone forward, deepening the range. If you're looking for gentle, pull out of it a little. Now, without moving the inner thighs, squeeze the inner thighs together, feel the pelvis engage. So that's when you feel from the inside out, you don't see it. Drop the hand, reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward to side angle. On your own breath, transition back and forth from reverse warrior to your side angle. Again, you'll know if you need to move faster or slower depending on your needs. Transition back to your warrior two. If your front leg needs a little bit of a release, release it. Come back into it. Take your hands behind your back, interlock your fingers, open the heart. Drop the chest forward to an angle on a humble warrior. If your shoulders allow, lift the hands. Take 2 big deep breaths here. And come back up to warrior two again. If you need to release the front leg, release and come back in. Reverse warrior. Side angle. Transitioning to triangle by taking the top arm up. I need to step my back foot in. So you need to do what you need to do as you lengthen your front leg and push back into your hip. Slide your bottom arm down the inside of your leg. You can use a block if you have one. And you decide where you want your head. If it's down on the floor, you'll have a little better balance. You'll have a little more challenge if you look out ahead. That might feel good to the neck. And a lot of challenge if you turn and look under to the top arm. Take one more big deep breath. And then bring the hands down to the floor. Take your front leg and kick back up. Lower to your plank. Lower to your chest. Upward facing dog. Release, exhale, tap toes. Downward facing dog, hold. Take your left leg now and kick high. Take a big giant step forward. Turn your heel. Use the core strength and leg strength for warrior one. Line your heels, reposition the pose. And as you exhale, open to warrior two. Strong position, the shin bone forward, knee deeper. Reverse warrior. Side angle. And find your flow as you go back and forth a few times. That warrior two. Interlock the hands behind your back, open heart. Shift forward onto an angle, humble warrior, and if shoulders allow, lift the hands. Deep breath. And exhale, come back to warrior two. If you need to release leg, release and come back in. Reverse warrior. Side angle, transitioning to triangle by bringing the upper arm higher, shift the legs as you need to, lengthen the front leg, slide the hand down, pull back into the back hip, and position your head as you need it to be. Let the hands now on the next exhale tumble back down. Kick your front leg back up. Let it float to the floor. Walk your feet forward to forward fold. Reverse swan all the way up and bring your hands to heart. Transition now for some balance work. Find your focal point and lift your right heel. We'll work 3 different balance poses before we do the other side. Lift your right knee. Sometimes you'll notice the floor or even a mat will affect your balance, so pay attention to the ankle and the feet. You can stay there or place your hands around your shin and draw that knee closer, opening the shoulders and the heart. Find that focal point, take some deep breaths, pay attention to the little wobbles in your ankle and your foot. Transition your hands out to the side. Right leg goes a little more back as we transition to warrior three. Chest goes forward. As you put your leg behind you, notice if you prefer a flexed foot or a pointed, and you make that choice. Your focal point may have most likely changed, and take a few deep breaths here as you stabilize that left leg. Third balance pose starts to pull the right knee in. Reach back with the right hand and grab hold of the foot or ankle. Left hand reaches high. Expanding this position by pushing that right foot down into the right hand and feeling the length of the quadricep and the stretch of the arm. Soften your standing leg a little. Shift the body weight forward and lift your back leg a little higher. Take 2 big deep breaths here. And as you finish, let the leg float down, relax, shake it off. Hands to heart, lift your left heel. Lift your left knee, engage the pelvis, find your balance and your focal point. Take some breath. Option to reach to the shin and pull it up higher, opening heart, chest, roll the shoulders back, long neck. Pay attention to the foot, the ankle. Transition hands to the side for warrior three as you lean your chest forward and your foot back. Notice if you prefer a flexed foot or a pointed toe, and then you make the choice. Find the focal point. Breathe. Pay attention and discover. Third balance, pull the knee forward. Left hand to foot or ankle. Right hand high. Activate the back leg by pushing actively, foot to hand. Soften knee, shift the chest forward, and the back leg a little higher. Find your focal point and breathe. And release, shake it off. Let's get into some deep stretches now. Take a deep breath in, forward fold. Walk your feet back into downward facing dog. Release the knees to the mat. Child's pose for a second to release back. Come up into a kneeling position and extend the right leg out to the side. The hands in front. Adductor inner thigh stretch. Drop the elbows gently to the floor. And then let the head release. Rock back through the hip towards the heel. And again, paying attention to the tight spots in the inner thigh. Come up onto your top. Right hand to right leg, left hand over to a side bend. Exhale, release to the other side into a deeper, bigger stretch away from your extended leg. Shift the weight into the hand as you lengthen your leg and stretch from tiptoes to fingertips. And similar to the balance pose that you just did, bend your knee, reach back with your hand, grab the ankle or foot, activate the foot into your hand, open the chest and shoulder. Feel the length of your thigh, turn your head down, and look towards the bottom hand. Release. Hands in front, left leg to side. Drop the elbows, drop the head. Stretch to the adductor, inner thigh on left leg. Sit the hips back if that feels better. Come back up onto hands, all the way up. Left hand to thigh, right arm over to the side bend. back over to the deeper stretch the other direction, bigger range of motion. Lift that top leg and extend from fingertips to toes. Bend the knee, take hold of the foot or ankle, activate the push of the foot into the arm or hand, longer stretch, turn your head. Exhale, release. Come into child's pose, release back. Up onto hands and knees. Take the right foot, step right between the two hands. Walk your hands more forward. Push the pelvis forward into this beautiful hip flexor stretch. Careful of your posture that you're not leaning into the front leg, but lifting out of it. Tuck the back toe. Lift the knee, and again, you can keep the knee down. Option to lift. Push back through the heel. Place the right hand on the thigh, turning into the hip. And then extending the arm even higher. Draw two big circles. And as you finish the second circle, bring the arm up. Hold. Bring the hand down, knee down, and rock back and forth through the hip, lengthening the front leg as you pull back. As you push forward, take that right foot a little wider on the mat with the right hand inside, pushing the elbow against the leg to open up a little more in the groin, hip flexor. And then gently step back with that right foot. Left foot steps forward between the two hands. Walk the hands more forward, posture up out of the leg. Tuck the back foot as an option, lift the knee off. You can do the stretch with the knee down, push the heel back. Left hand to thigh, turn and rotate into the hip. Lift the arm. Circle. 2 times. And when you're done with the second circle, leave the arm up. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Take it back and forth, lengthening the front leg when you pull back. And then step the left foot a little wider with the left hand inside, pushing the elbow against the leg to open up that groin. Gently step back, release back into your child's pose. Let's take a few more stretches. Come to a seated position. Cross the right foot over the left leg with the option of extending the left leg forward if you have some knee issues, or pulling it underneath. Left arm wraps around the right leg. Right arm comes around into a really deep twist, sitting up tall through the top of the head and breathing deep. Bring the chest to center, reach the right arm high, left arm down behind the low back and up. Drop the right hand and see if you can interlock fingers, touch fingers, or if they're not touching at all. This is where you'll notice a big difference on each side, so just pay attention. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, release, switch legs. Remember, you have the option of keeping the bottom leg straight out in front of you. Wrap the right arm around the left, twist and rotate, and then lift up tall. Take your deep breaths into that stretch. Come back to the center. Reach the left arm high, the right arm back underneath, dropping the left hand, and see the difference between the stretch on the right side versus the left. You might notice one side they overlap and one side they don't even touch at all. Again, just pay attention. Today is about discovery, awareness, respect, exploring and discovering. Release and come now to Position on your back with your knees bent at your chest. And just rock side to side, giving that low back a little massage. Come back to the center and open and close the knees. Letting those knees now draw a circle and use your hands to help the legs move. And then reverse the circle. Bring the knees back to open, lift the toes a little, and grab hold of the big toe into our happy baby, using the weight of the hands and the legs to open up that tightness, and then rock back and forth from side to side. As you go to one side, extend that leg, bending the other knee. Really engage a deep stretch there. Deep breath, and on the next exhale, go to the other side. And on the next exhale, bring the knees together, open the chest, and let the knees drop clear to one side, really feeling a deep stretch in the chest and shoulder. Now that spine will stretch, the hip will stretch. If you want a little more out of it, extend that top leg, placing it on top of its hand. And you can hold the stretch or move it here, whatever feels best for you. And then transition up and over to the other side. Start with the shoulder, chest, spine, and hip. Then if you want more out of it, extend the leg and place your hand underneath it. And either hold still or shift the leg around. Find the tight spots and free the space. And bring the knees back to the chest. Place your feet against the floor, arms above the head. Let the knees drop to one side, pushing the top knee forward through the hip flexor, the thigh, all the way up into the abdominal, the psoas, and all the way up to the arm that's above your head. Exhale, release to the other side. Drop the knees, push the thigh forward, feel the length through the thigh, hip flexor, abdominal, psoas, and even the arm reach that's over the head. Now let's get one more stretch today. Bring the legs back into the chest. Cross the right foot over the left. Use your hands to help pull the legs in. And with the right leg on top, roll slightly to the left hip. You'll feel it, you'll notice it. Extend the bottom leg a little higher. Circle the ankle. Reverse the circle. And then bend your knee and bring it back down. Switch sides. With the left leg crossed over the right, pull it in, and then roll a little more to the right hip. Extend and lengthen the bottom leg and circle the ankle. Reverse. And bend the knee. Uncross the legs and rock yourself up now to seated. As you sit into a position that feels comfortable, whichever leg you like to have in front, lift and lengthen your spine. Drop the ear to the right shoulder. Bring that left arm over into a little more of a side bend. Reach to the forward diagonal. Bring the hand to the head, gently pull the other direction, putting the fingertips or the hand to the floor. Bring the hand down on the other side, let the head drop into the shoulder, reach the arm over the top. Reach more to a forward diagonal. Bring the hand to the head and gently pull with the left fingertips or palm down to stretch through that neck. Lengthen the head right up on top of the spine. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart, hold. I am so glad you joined me today for this yoga flow class. I hope you made some new discoveries, became so aware of how your body feels and works, You paid attention and moved with intention and gave your body the respect it needed in this practice today. Join me for other workouts on Fitness with Jenn Allen, and I hope you come back often and join me for other workouts. I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderfully beautiful day. Namaste.